There are plenty of paths to become a millionaire, but none of them from these superficial get-rich videos here on YouTube. By the end of this video, you'll have a complete roadmap including the strategies and action steps in 3 businesses that will build wealth. You'll also have the 4 traits you need to embrace, 4 characteristics every millionaire has mastered. It's my 4-4-3 action plan for making money today on Let's Talk Money. Beat debt, make money, make your money work for you, creating the financial future you deserve. Let's Talk Money. Joseph Hogue with the Let's Talk Money channel right here on YouTube. I want to send a special shout out to everyone in the community. Thank you for taking a part of your day to be here. If you're not part of that community yet, just click that little red subscribe button. It's free and you'll never miss an episode. If you've been on YouTube for any amount of time, you've seen the videos about building wealth. It's a popular topic, but 99% of them only scratch the surface. They might give you a few ideas, but it's nowhere near enough to really put you on that path. I don't know about you, but I'm tired of it. I'm tired of watching channels put out superficial videos that get you excited about reaching that $1 million mark, but then hide those details that matter. So this video is going to be a little longer than most, but it's going to do just that. I'm not only going to detail 3 strategies I've used to build my net worth to 7 figures, I'm also going to share the characteristics and tactics you need to actually do it. I have to say though, for 80% of the people watching this video, it's not going to happen. I'm not going to apologize for that because the majority watching are just going to jump to those strategies. They're going to give up, maybe half-assed try for a few weeks and then just give up. The 3 strategies I'm sharing to become a millionaire do work. All create 6-figure income, and I'll share several real-life examples of how people are using them. But they aren't enough by themselves. That's why I'm revealing the 4 traits you need to embrace to create that millionaire mindset and the 4 tactics to use around these strategies that will make them a success. First though, and this is going to be important to your success, I want you to scroll down and tell us in the comments why you want to be rich. It seems like a ridiculous question, but I guarantee it's going to throw some people. Why do you want to be rich? Because there's no point of having money if you don't know what you're going to do with it when you get there. You'll never be motivated enough to make those hard sacrifices if you're not working towards a goal. So scroll down and tell us why in the comments, why it's so important to you right now. As an extra incentive here, I'm giving away 2 free passes to the Side Hustle Summit for the 2 comments that get the most likes. Now this summit was an online conference with more than 25 side hustle experts revealing their secrets and strategies to earning that extra money. You'll find experts on making money with Amazon FBA, freelancing, working as a virtual assistant, and over 25 other side hustles you can create right now. Now these tickets are over $400 through the summit, but I've got 2 free passes for the comments that get the most likes. So write a detailed and thoughtful comment on becoming rich. Share this video with your friends and ask them to like your comment. I'll email the top 2 comments at the end of the week with their free passes. But back to that 4-4-3 strategy for becoming a millionaire. I'll start with the characteristics, the mindset you need to have to be successful. Now, Inc. magazine surveyed the world's billionaires and found that 9 out of 10 had these traits, these 4 characteristics that made them rich. So if you're not ready to commit to these first 4 traits I'm gonna reveal, don't even worry about the rest of the video. After I reveal those 4 traits and then the 3 money-making strategies, I'm going to wrap it up with the 4 life lessons I've learned on my way to 1 million. Now these are going to be critically important to keeping the money you make and making it grow, so stick around for those. But first, onto those 4 characteristics I've found every millionaire I've met. You don't have to be born with these traits, but you do have to commit to building them. The first trait is a rock-solid work ethic. Now this is something everyone thinks they have, but are you really willing to put in that work? Are you willing to work 60 hours plus a week to reach those 7 figures? We're not talking about sitting at your desk spacing off or talking with coworkers like the average worker. We're talking actually putting in that time working. I get up every morning at 5:30 to get my workout in time to still get my son up at 6:30 and to school by 7. I'm at the computer by 7:30 and work straight through to 12:30 when I take a half-hour break for lunch and to check email. Then it's another 4 hours of work before my son gets home from school, and then another 2 or 3 hours at work after 10 p.m. Finally, I put in another 5 hours on one day over the weekend to catch up on projects. Now that doesn't mean you have to be a workaholic. This is your seed schedule, the time you need to put in to get everything going and put yourself on that path. The thing is, and this might be the cruel joke of being rich, is that you start doing all this and it becomes part of you. You start enjoying that drive and the excitement from building your business. That means even after you're already reached that 1 million, you're still putting in the time because you love doing it. The next characteristic here is that lifelong learning and constantly improving your skill set. Again, this is one everyone talks about. Everyone talks about the need to read and constantly be learning from others, but the secret is actually putting it on your schedule and doing it. That means making the time and making the effort. If there is one measurable thing that every successful person does, it's making the time for reading and learning. A few examples here. Warren Buffett, arguably the world's best investor, says he reads over 500 pages a day. Microsoft founder Bill Gates reads 50 books a year, and that's actually on the low side for most billionaires. Dallas Mavericks owner Mark Cuban says he reads 3 hours a day. Now that's upwards of 1,000 hours a year and over 120 books every year. Your first books are going to be in that money-making strategy you decide to follow, but building your own business means you're 10 different people in one. You'll need to read up on marketing, SEO, writing, and even, yes, accounting to make your business a success. And that actually brings us to our third characteristic of millionaires. You're going to start off doing most of the job yourself and building your business, but if you want to reach that top level, you have to be able to get the most out of others. Understand what you do best and find others that are going to be the best at what they do to help out. That means putting a few books about management on your list and learning what parts of your business you can outsource. It also means a lot of trial and error. You're going to be on these freelancer sites like Upwork and Fiverr looking for professionals. There's going to be a lot of bad experiences, frustration, and sometimes you're going to want to just go back and do everything yourself. Commit to building your team though, and you're going to be able to scale your business and create more than you could possibly imagine. Our last trait here before we get to those 3 money-making strategies is that no excuses mentality. This goes beyond just not making excuses to an almost stubborn perseverance to stick with a strategy even when everyone else says it's not working. A friend of mine, Hank Coleman, a major in the U.S. Army, started his blog Money Q&A in 2007. In fact, he was one of the first bloggers at a financial conference that I go to every year. He put it all into his site for years and yet never really even broke more than $500 a month for almost a decade. His wife thought he was crazy for sticking with it. His friends told him blogging wasn't a thing, and he wondered if he had enough time to really make it work. He watched generations of bloggers and online entrepreneurs become successful, and all of the excuses started creeping into his head. But he stuck with it though, and now makes over $4,000 a month part-time. He gets more than 35,000 visitors a month and is about to ratchet it up with video and courses. Now, I'm not saying it's going to take you a decade to reach your million. Hank is a special case because of those deployments and the fact that he could only put in so much time, but you need that same stubborn level of commitment to make it work. There will be a point where you want to quit. There will be many points where you want to quit. It's those times when you need to look at what you're doing, what's working, and commit to keep on that path. Now, I know these seem like vague ideas, work harder, keep learning, but they are proven traits you need to develop that will make you successful in these 3 strategies we're about to discuss. Just 1 in 9 households has reached that millionaire level. Less than 15 million American households in 130 across the country. Unless this was all handed to you at birth, you're just going to have to work for it like the rest of us. Now we're getting to what most of you are probably waiting for, those 3 strategies you can use to become a millionaire. Now these are tried and true businesses, and I'm going to walk you through all 3. But the secret really is in those traits we've covered and the tactics we'll talk about later. You can copy down these strategies and check all the boxes, but it's not going to help if you can't deliver on that execution, so make sure you stick around for those tactics at the end of the video. One thing I do want to say is not a millionaire strategy is investing. You see just as many of these videos masquerading as get-rich-quick videos on YouTube. But now look, I love investing my money and it will help you grow your wealth, but it's not going to make you rich. Anyone trying to teach you how to get rich investing by trading stocks or reaching for those huge returns is just going to lose your money or waste your time. Real investing is about those diversified gains of about 7 or 8% on a portfolio of stocks, bonds, and real estate. Putting $200 a month into an account, it's going to take over 50 years to become a millionaire at that rate. Sure, you'll be there, but who wants to be an old millionaire? The real path to millionaire status before you're spending it on adult undergarments and denture cream is creating a business, building a wealth around these 3 strategies. I'll be talking about 3 different types of businesses and detailing specific strategies within each. Now, first is going to be starting that traditional business, but not just any business. It has to be scalable. This means you have to be able to grow it to the point that it can generate that 6-figure income, otherwise you'll always be fighting the clock. Now let's look at an extreme example. Everyone had a lemonade stand when they were young, right? Whether it was a lemonade or whatever, you sat on the corner and sold single servings for less than $1. Maybe you made 20 bucks a day if you were lucky. So that's not a scalable business model. Selling 20 bucks a day, even if your parents paid for all your costs, it would take you over 50,000 days or 137 years to reach that $1 million. Maybe a more realistic example, and this is one of the most popular online strategies right now, is consulting or freelancing. Now, I'm not saying you can't make very good money consulting, and I have friends that get over $100 an hour, but even at that rate and a generous profit margin of 50%, you're still looking at 20,000 billable hours of work just to hit that $1 million. You're trading your time for money, and you're always going to be limited. So any business you start, one of the first questions needs to be, how scalable is this, and how do I automate the process? Now I'm going to talk about one of my favorite business ideas you can scale with huge potential for 6 and even 7-figure annual income. So Fulfillment by Amazon, or Amazon FBA, is easily my favorite new business idea and really an amazing concept when you think about it. This is a special program by the company that basically turns you into your own consumer brand. Now, in the past, if you wanted to, say, start a clothing line or maybe an exercise equipment company, you'd need hundreds of thousands of dollars or even millions to buy all the manufacturing, set up the marketing, and all those logistics that you need. With Amazon FBA, you can now get started with less than $5,000. You can have your own brand of jeans, sell it to a global market, and compete against Tommy Hilfiger for probably less than you spend a year in clothes. Because let's face it, Amazon is the future of shopping. Online shopping is still just a fraction of total spent, but growing every year, and it's a huge opportunity for entrepreneurs. With Amazon FBA, you don't need your own warehouse or manufacturing. You don't need your own fleet of trucks or dozens of staff to manage all this. So I want to go over the idea here and some tips on getting started so you can see how scalable this business is. Now, first is finding your product. So you start by looking through the Amazon bestseller list to see what types of products are trending. Products between $15 and $60 work best. Higher value products are going to be more competitive, but lower price stuff might not leave a whole lot of room for profits. Smaller products, less than a few pounds each, are going to be easier to ship when you're shipping in bulk. Then you're going to click through to each of the top ranked pages in a few product categories. You're looking for product categories where a lot of the top ranked pages aren't very professional. Maybe images are weak and descriptions are kind of lame. You want to see a lot of pages where the products are ranked 1,000 or higher in the category. That's going to mean you might be able to beat those rankings. Now, sourcing your products is actually the easy part. Alibaba, which is like the Chinese Amazon, connects manufacturers with people looking to sell on Amazon FBA, and the site has it down to a T. You can easily compare different manufacturers, quality ratings, prices, all kinds of factors. Once you've narrowed it down to a few, you can get them to send you some samples to test the quality. You pick one and then put in your first order. They'll package up your products, and even slap your branded sticker on them before shipping them directly off to the Amazon warehouses. Through your Amazon FBA account, you'll be able to track all the inventory at the warehouses, and this means you can reorder from your manufacturers and not have to have a lot of inventory sitting around. Now, I've seen people have the most success with Amazon when they have their own blog around that product category or topic, and that links to their product pages on Amazon. You can do all your marketing directly on Amazon through the Amazon Marketing Services, but this is going to cost some money. The idea with having your own blog is that all you need is a handful of organic sales from that blog each month to really help keep your products ranked highly in those categories on Amazon. This is the same strategy I use to sell over 600 copies of my books a month. Getting a handful of sales from my blogs, plus maybe 100 sales from Amazon ads to keep them ranked within that top 10 in the category. Now, there are obviously thousands of different business ideas out there, but remember, you have to take it back to that first question. Is this business scalable? Ask yourself how you're going to grow the business to a point where you're making at least 6 figures a year and not trading your time for money. Our next business strategy is around that idea of creating passive income. Now, this is one of the most popular and abused subjects here on YouTube. Everyone loves the idea of passive income, getting paid to do nothing, but I have to tell you, that kind of income just doesn't exist. There might be some businesses that produce that passive income once you get started, and I'll detail one right now, but you're always going to have to put in some time or some money to get that business started. Anyone that tells you they have a business idea that's completely passive from the start and requires no investment, they're either a scammer or trying to sell you their course. But you can't avoid passive income ideas as part of your wealth building strategy. You can create an amazing scalable business, but what's the use of making all that money if you're always busy making money? While there are a lot of passive income ideas like blogging or affiliate marketing that are barely passive or won't get you closer to becoming a millionaire, there are a few out there that are easy to set up and as passive as you're going to find. Now, I'm going to share my favorite passive income strategy here, but I want you to ask yourself these 3 questions when you're ever considering deciding on a passive income source. First is how much does it cost to get started and how much can I expect to make? Now, I've seen a lot of investment ideas masquerading as passive income. Again, investing is great. I love making money off my money, but it's not a business idea. Second is you need to find out how long until you can expect to be making money. Now, everyone talks about blogging as passive income. I've had my 5 blogs since 2013. I started making money within about 6 months and make more than I ever thought was possible, but I still wouldn't consider it passive income. Last here is just how much maintenance work or how many hours do you need to put in on that business every month just to keep the income stable? Now, this is really the defining question of passive income. The answer doesn't have to be 0, but if the business isn't creating income without much work, then it's not passive. For our example passive income business, I want to highlight self-publishing. For those in the community, you know I'm a big believer in self-publishing, not only for full-length books, but for also those shorter printables you can sell on a blog or through social media. Self-publishing is one of those things that seems complicated, but it's actually extremely easy, and it's by far the most passive of the 7 income sources I use. I spend $20 a month per book in advertising and do nothing else for marketing. No promotions, no book tours. My advertising is set on autopilot on Amazon and helps keep my books ranked for consistent sales. In fact, the 10 books I've published average just under $2,000 a month and give me the freedom to build some of my other businesses that don't cash flow yet. So let's run through those 3 questions for passive income ideas, and then I'll show you a process that makes self-publishing very easy. First, it costs absolutely nothing to get started self-publishing. You can write your books, do all the graphics, design work, and publish them with no budget. I spend a total of about $300 each to outsource some of the steps because I'm just not that good at cover design, and it's worth my time to have someone else format it for me. How much you make self-publishing is going to vary depending on whether you have those distribution channels like a blog or a big social media following. Now, I promote my books through the blogs, but don't really do much other than that and that $20 spent on advertising every month. That means I net about $170 per book every month, but I know several authors that make upwards of $500 per book just because they have those bigger audiences. But even someone with none of this can make over $100 a month easily. That's over $1,000 a year, and you're going to see in a minute how easy it is to get started. That final question of how much work does it take to keep making money, we've already answered. I love blogging and the channel here on YouTube, but there's just a constant need to be producing more content. You don't have that with self-publishing. If you can stay ranked on Amazon in your book category, you're going to keep getting sales every single month. Now I'm going to give you my 5-step process for developing your book idea and a way to stay on schedule to publish. So many people start with a book idea or just dream of publishing, but then they get sidetracked. Having a process like this is going to keep you on track and get your book published. First is just to start with the transformation. This is the change you want your readers to experience after finishing your book. Now, it's important because people don't buy books for the information. They read for the transformation or they read for entertainment. Show people how your book is going to improve their lives and build your idea around that. Then developing what's going to go in your book means starting with that transformation and working backwards through the steps that a reader needs to get there. Each of these major steps is going to be a chapter in your book. Now, you can also do a little research by looking at books in the topic on Amazon. Look at what other authors are talking about and what they might be missing. One great little hack is to look at some of the reader reviews to find out what people liked seeing and what maybe they wanted to see more of. Once your research is done and you have those 8 to 12 chapter ideas, you start outlining each one, just writing out the basic ideas for each chapter. Then you're going to take it 1 chapter at a time. Don't try to sit down and write a whole book. Just focus on writing out 1 single chapter. This is going to make self-publishing a natural fit for blogging because you can post each chapter on the blog. That's going to help you keep you on schedule and make it more manageable. By the time the books are written and published, those individual chapters are getting Google traffic. You can go back through and add your link to your book page, and that becomes instant marketing. Once you're done writing the chapters, all you need to do is read through in a format for publishing and make sure they all fit together. Formatting takes less than a few hours, and you can design your book cover on just about any graphics software. I've got an entire playlist here on the channel about self-publishing, including the 10 biggest mistakes new authors make. I'll leave a link to that in the video description below, so make sure you check that out and start asking those questions in the comments section below the video. Our last business strategy to become a millionaire is going to be a mix of that business idea and passive income in real estate investing. Now, I've been in several real estate businesses and an investor since my early 20s. In fact, it was my first professional job as a commercial property analyst after getting out of the Marine Corps that really sparked my interest and love of investing. No other asset class has created as much family wealth as real estate, and it's one of the few investments that every millionaire owns. Now there's several different ways you can get started in real estate. I've got an entire video detailing 7 ways to invest with no money, and I'll link to that in the video description. Some of these are going to require more work to get started, while others are going to be more passive, so it's a great way to supplement your income from a business or a part-time side hustle. My favorite property investing strategy, and this is the one I recommend to all new investors, is called house hacking. Now, I've also heard this one called training wheels for real estate investing because it's going to give you that initial experience without a lot of the risks. House hacking just means buying a duplex or a triplex property, living in one of the units, and then renting out the others. Since you're living on the property, you can get low-rate FHA loans for as little as 3.5% down, and even bad credit borrowers can qualify for this type of loan. This is one of the first strategies I tried when I got into residential real estate, except, I used a VA loan from the Veterans Administration instead. House hacking means you're just going to cut out a lot of that travel time and a lot of the other headaches when managing your properties. So it's a way to get started without all that stress that usually comes from rentals. You also have less to worry about for repairs because, while you might have 2 or 3 units, you only have one roof and fewer other systems to worry about. So try house hacking for a year or two before buying any other properties, and you'll get an idea for what it takes to really manage real estate. I guarantee you'll be hooked on that cash flow and that pride of owning a real asset. Now that you've got those 3 strategies I've used to build wealth, I wish I could tell you that was enough. I wish it was good enough just to embrace those 4 characteristics of the rich and use these 3 strategies to make millions, but it's not. You see, I've seen people be extremely successful and still not reach that 7-figure payday. I've also seen people get rich, actually get there, but then lose it all. It's all because they don't execute on these last 4 tactics. It's these last 4 action steps that are going to help not only grow the wealth you've created, but also avoid losing it. I know it's a long video, but give me just 5 more minutes of your time and I'll guarantee all that hard work is going to pay off. First here is going to be to understand the difference between buying an asset and spending money. The fake rich, they buy stuff. They spend money, but it's all short-term rich. I know when I first made my money in real estate in my early 20s, the first thing I did was run out and buy a shiny new red Porsche Boxster. It was fun, but that car almost drove me to the poorhouse. It cost me thousands to repair, hundreds in insurance, and attracted all the wrong type of people. Compare that to an asset, things that create wealth rather than destroy it. These are things like rental real estate, reinvesting in your business, and other investments. Use your wealth to buy things that will create more, not destroy it. Next is to live within your means. Okay, I imagine you're watching a video titled How to Become a Millionaire because you don't want to live within your means. You see what it's like to be rich, to have those cars and the houses, and you want that. All those phony millionaires you see on YouTube though, the ones posing in front of their Ferraris and huge houses, this is something they haven't learned and it's going to bankrupt them. Now, I'm not saying you can't spend your money, enjoy it a little, but if that lifestyle depends on you're constantly making 6 figures or more, how rich is that really? Sure, you might have a lot of money and a lot of stuff, but you're always going to be a slave to it. Slip just a little and you're going to be broke. So what you do, the way you have both, the way you enjoy your money while not worrying about running out is a little trick I use. You take your last 5 years of income, the average annual income you made over that time, and that's how much you can spend minus maybe 15% for savings and investment. This way your spending isn't going to jump that first year or 2 you're making money. Your lifestyle is going to gradually build higher so you're not living outside your ability. Even better though is that if your income does start to drop, it forces your spending to come down as well without destroying your wealth. The third tactic, and this is one of the most important, is to plan for multiple streams of income, including passive income. Now, I love those 3 millionaire strategies we talked about, but you cannot depend on any of them for a single source of income. Each one can be a great source of cash flow, but they're unpredictable. You might earn 5 figures one month and then barely break a few grand the next. Besides that uncertainty in income, some of these are a lot of work. Put together a portfolio of real estate and you've got a full-time job managing those rentals. Now, I love Amazon FBA, but you need to keep up with the inventory, the marketing, and ranking your pages. So you need to balance your sources of income. That means some sources that pay off when others don't. It means mixing sources that are going to be more passive with others that take monthly management. So our next tactic is that need to reinvest in yourself. Besides just that trait of constantly improving your skills, reading and learning from others, understand how to reinvest in your business. Part of this is going to come from learning how to run your business, what you can outsource. It's also going to be reinvesting in the software and the technology that's going to make your job easier. Invest in your business and yourself, not just to keep it growing, but to stay competitive. There are going to be tens of thousands of people trying to do what you're doing, and some are going to have that drive and that motivation you have. being better isn't just about growing, but about staying on top once you're there. So we're here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday with the best videos on beating debt, making more money, and making your money work for you. If you've got a question about money, just scroll down and ask it in the comments, and we'll answer it in a future video.